It took me a year and a half to make my first $1 million in e-commerce, and what's crazy is not only did I have no idea what I was doing, I picked literally the hardest industry in the world to succeed in, the clothing space. I started a clothing brand back in college with my cousin, literally just because we wanted to make a cool pair of workout shorts. I didn't do any market research. I didn't talk to anybody beforehand. I just said go, and I said, let's figure it out along the way. I also documented all of this on social media over the past couple of years so that everyone could see my mistakes and my failures. Like I said, my business made $1 million in its first year and a half, and today I'm gonna show you how to do it even faster. If I started over and I knew everything I knew today, I could get to $1 million in a couple of months. So today I'm gonna explain exactly how to get to 3K a day in e-commerce and the step-by-step process it takes to get there. It doesn't mean that you're not gonna have to do work. It's gonna be tough, it's gonna be hard, but this should give you some insight into how to get there faster. The best part is you can get there so much faster than me because you have so many tools at your disposal, and most importantly, you got Squidpactor. The best part about all of this though, you don't need a team, you don't really even need to hire anybody to get to 1 million in sales. Everything you can either do yourself or utilize AI tools, or if you need to, you can hire some contractors. I know a guy who's doing $1 million a month in e-commerce right now, and he's literally the only person in the business. Everything is contract work. So let's get right into it. The first thing you're gonna wanna do, and like I said, I did not do this and I learned my lesson, is do some market research. Pick a product that exists in a growing market, right? Something that's trending, something that's only gonna get more popular, has great margins, and ideally has quick turnaround time. Clothing brands typically have terrible margins. The turnaround time can be anywhere from 2 months to 4 months, and you gotta ship it overseas if it's made in China. And you definitely don't wanna make anything in the States because you're not gonna have a good margin if you do. But the goal here is not to do hard shit, it's to make an e-commerce brand that does over $1 million in its first year. So if that's what you wanna do, I would not recommend starting a clothing brand. Use tools like ChatGPT, right? Ask it, what are some growing trends right now? What are some products with good margins, with quick turnaround time, in a growing niche that I can build an e-commerce brand around? Use these tools to your disposal. Step number 2, go and create your legal entity, okay? You don't need LegalZoom, you don't need any of these services that charge you $300 and then all these yearly fees to do it for you. Just go ask ChatGPT, how do I create my own LLC? It'll take maybe a couple hours max, and then you're good to go. Step number 3, create your first product samples. Use sites like Fiverr and Upwork for the actual designs, for your packaging, for what you want the design on the product to be. Use a site like Alibaba or AliExpress if you're trying to get something overseas or if you have a physical product. And if you're in CPG or if you want to do some sort of food product or edible or gum or something like that, then I would use a US manufacturer. You don't want to be shipping that overseas. But like I said, ask ChatGPT for a list of manufacturers. If you're starting a protein bar company like my buddy did, which does like $400K a month, by the way, right now, do some research into what kind of protein brand you think would be good, and then ask ChatGPT for a list of manufacturers near you. If you do decide to use Alibaba and go with a manufacturer over in China, you don't necessarily need to go visit them in person. I didn't visit my manufacturers until about 2.5 years into this business. There's a lot of people on Alibaba that aren't actually like factory owners or manufacturers. They're third parties who kind of like middleman the entire process, and they take money from you and the factory. You want to be communicating directly with your manufacturer, so FaceTime them, hop on a Zoom, ask them to show you the factory, right? Ask them to prove to you that this is their real business. When you're sampling, when you ask your manufacturer for a sample, make sure that you ask them beforehand what their price per unit is, right? Like I said, make sure that you have a good margin. If you're making t-shirts for $15 and you plan on selling them for $30, like, you will never have a successful business, bro. You're cooked from the start. This is not economically viable and you're doomed to fail. In general, you want a product margin of above 70%, ideally 75 or 80. And if you have over 80, that's amazing. Once your samples arrive, ask your friends for feedback. Go to peers, go sit in front of a Starbucks if you have to and say, I'll buy you a coffee if you rate my product. So many people are afraid to do this because, number one, it's hard, and they're afraid that they're gonna get criticized. They're afraid that they're actually gonna get feedback, which is exactly what you need to make the best product. If you create something that you would want, and then you go buy a ton of inventory, and you find out nobody else wants it, then you're fucking cooked. So make sure that other people want whatever it is you're selling. After you finally get your samples, start creating your website. right? If you're an e-commerce brand like we're talking about here today, I would recommend using Shopify. It's just the easiest platform to use. Around this same time, once you have your sample, once you're working on your website, I would highly recommend starting and posting on social media. Document your journey for everyone to see. Start talking about your business, why you started it, what this product is, why it's gonna change their life. That way you can build up a list of people ready to buy it once it actually releases. The best part about social media too, aside from potential customers, is you meet other people who are doing similar things, right? I'm 3 years into my business. I'm 24 years old. I literally have dozens, maybe even over 100 friends that all have multi-million-dollar businesses, and we met each other on social media along the way. Everything from sunglasses to protein bars, other clothing brands, tech businesses, AI businesses, everything that you can think of. Just because you're in the CPG or clothing space doesn't mean that you can't learn something from the kid building an AI software. I met so many successful people on social media. I even launched my own networking group full of 7, 8, and 9-figure entrepreneurs. And now whenever I have a problem, literally anything, I can ask the chat and there's either someone that knows the answer because they've done it before and beat that challenge, or introduce me to someone who can give me the answer. Why would you try and figure out everything on your own when there's probably more likely than not somebody out there who's already done it? But how can you expect other people to know who you are and help you if you don't even talk about it yourself? By posting on social media, I built one of the most powerful personal brands of this generation. I genuinely believe that. And I built my networking group that can answer any question I can ever have. Step number 7, after you've built a small platform and talked about your product, your journey, your business, why you're doing it, open up a pre-order. Step number 8, based on your pre-order amounts, go ahead and place your first order. Your pre-order is gonna tell you, based on the actual consumers, what they want, what colors, what sizes, or what flavors of whatever product you're creating. When I bought my first 500 pairs of shorts, which was my first order ever, I bought 100 black, 100 white, 100 green, 100 brown, and 100 red. I also ordered even amounts for every size. Like, I was genuinely retarded. I got 20 small, 20 medium, 20 large, 20 XL, 20 XXL. Like, what was I thinking? I had no idea what I was doing. I sold through the black, medium, and larges in about a week, and then I was sitting on the brown XXLs, even the mediums, for like months. That is cash that I could have had in my hands, but instead it was just sitting in inventory that nobody wanted. Step number 9 is, while the products are in production, while they're being made, start getting familiar with all of the sales channels out there. So if you're in e-commerce and you're selling something, Facebook and TikTok Shop are the big 2, and those are pretty much all you need to worry about if you're just trying to get to $1 million. Don't worry about SEO and any of that shit until much later. It's kind of just a waste of time in the early days, and you're not even gonna be able to compete with the people that have a ton of money. But spend some time figuring out how to run Facebook ads and TikTok ads on your own. Don't go hire an agency for this because they're gonna completely fuck you. This is your responsibility, and it's never been easier, not only because there's tons of resources on the internet, but Facebook is actually really easy these days. Do not make the mistake I made, which is using 4 different agencies my second year in business and getting rinsed out of tens of thousands of dollars and losing hundreds of thousands of dollars in potential sales. Your ads are the heart of your business. Don't put that in the hands of somebody else you don't trust and you don't know. And no agency is ever gonna care about you, your business, your sales as much as you are. Use apps like Postscript and Klaviyo for your email and SMS. This is super important for your customer retention and increasing your LTV over time. LTV means lifetime customer value. If someone just buys your product once, like, that's great, but you want them coming back a second, a third, 10 times to buy your product again. And it's very hard to do that if you're not consistently communicating with them. Step number 10, when it comes to distribution, I would recommend using a 3PL. You can ship out of your dorm or your garage like I did, but a 3PL is just a lot easier. Sure, it costs a little bit of money, but it's gonna enable you to use most of your time on actually growing the business and not packing orders. You might even save money because most 3PLs have really good rates. And if you're shipping out of your garage, you're gonna be paying the highest price possible to ship stuff. Step number 11, once your inventory actually arrives, start pumping out ad creatives at scale. Ad creatives are the 30, 60, 90-second video that you run ads on so that your customer sees it and wants to buy your products. You're probably gonna have to make most of these yourself in the beginning. If anything, I think you should, because it's your product, it's your brand, and you wanna tell that story the right way. Make dozens of them. Run ads on all of those creatives, and naturally you're gonna figure out what kind of creatives are the most effective. Once you've figured out the scripts and the hooks and the call to actions of your creatives that actually work, then you can start sending product out to influencers and giving them these scripts to make creatives on their own for you. You should also be posting all of these videos on TikTok Shop. TikTok Shop is like the fucking greatest opportunity of our lifetime. And if you're not using it because you're afraid that your friends are gonna see, then you're a fucking loser and you don't deserve any success. You gotta be willing to get a little uncomfortable if you wanna win at the end of the day. Check the ad performance of your videos. Don't just fire blanks. Make 20 videos, look at Facebook, look at TikTok Shop, see which videos worked and study those, right? Why did this one work but this one didn't? Take those learnings from that first video that did work and make it better. Iterate on those concepts. Your ad creative, once again, is the heart of your business, and it's the fastest way to grow. Once I figured this out, my business started growing exponentially. Step number 12, build a list of UGC creators in your niche, right? Like if you're selling clothing, don't send it to a fucking cook. Send it to a fitness influencer, a fashion influencer, right? Someone who posts lifestyle content. Someone who's actually gonna be able to show your product in their videos and understand how to sell it the right way. Once you send them your product, send them your best scripts. Say, hey guys, copy these, make them on your own, and I'll pay you either a flat fee or a commission in exchange for your videos. Focus on guys that make good content. You can find most of these guys on TikTok Shop anyway. Do not, under any circumstances, pay big influencers and big celebrities thousands of dollars for them to post for you. It is completely useless. It doesn't work anymore. That marketing method is outdated. These guys not only don't know how to make good videos, but they're gonna charge you thousands of dollars because they have huge egos. It's a huge waste of money. Just trust me on this, do not do it. Step number 13, use platforms like Atria and Triple Whale to track your ads, see what's working, and really get a good understanding of the economics behind the sales part of your business. Once again, look at the data. The data never lies. Don't just guess which videos are doing well because it seems like they're good videos. These platforms are gonna enable you to get key insights into your creatives and why they're doing well. It's also gonna give you a good understanding of the economics behind the marketing side of your business. And guys, that's pretty much it. At the end of the day, in order to get your business to $3,000 a day, you really just need to do those things. Make sure you have a good product, make sure you have inventory to sell, and then make good creatives. It really is that simple. And then if you have an organic platform and you can build that organic following naturally, then that's even better. Most of my first $1 million in business, I did organically. Literally just from my TikTok posting about it to my followers. But if I had started running ads from the start, not only would I have reached $1 million, probably in half the time, I'd probably be 3 times as big right now because I would have started so much sooner. Remember, speed is so much more important than perfection. The ones who wait to have the perfect option or the perfect solution are fucking losers. And they're gonna be waiting forever. By you going fast, failing fast, and learning fast, you're gonna beat any competition. I've made every mistake you can think of, and even worse, I've spent way too much time waiting around for the perfect idea to come into my head. Most importantly, remember to document your entire story. I know that your friends are gonna talk shit. I know that it's uncomfortable holding a phone up like this and talking to the camera, but it is without a doubt the most valuable thing you can do for yourself today, and you will thank me later. I've met so many people, successful young entrepreneurs that have said over and over and over, I wish I started posting sooner. I've literally never met a single person that regretted doing so. And remember, if you're ever stuck at a crossroads, if you ever don't know what to do or don't know what the right option is, just remember, what would Squid Pactor do? Because the answer is just go.